Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Working on the Bus. I am super pumped. We're getting ready to go on a trip to Texas, and got some really cool things coming up in this episode. We're going to try to get the curtains done for the windows, so we're going to have a little bit more privacy. I'm going to try to finish up all the insulation stuff that needs to be done in the back, button that all up. Get the bunks on the left side finally fleshed out and try to cover them up. And then we're going to work on getting the top bunk on the right side so we can get a solid spot, and it'll be used just as a shelf for now. And again, this is all stuff that we're working on. We also need to get these front sections completely walled in. I've got this one already cut out over here, but we need to cut that and screw it in, insulate behind there, and then insulate the front cone. And then I need to cut the stuff for up here. Abby's working on a curtain for up here too. So lots of stuff going on. Super pumped that you guys are along for the ride. So let's get working. So I'd cut these pieces out a while ago, just to kind of try to follow along the line of here, just so there's less space there. I think I may end up putting just a big old sheet of plywood down across here. But I will probably cut a hole down there to be able to get the heater to go back and through, because these sections all need to be covered up so that when kids are sleeping up here or people are laying down while we're sleeping, they can't go through there if somebody hits the brakes really hard. But screwed this board all in. It was flopping all over the place because I just had press fitted in there. So that's all in there, which is awesome. That 2x4 back there, I need to screw that in and then also figure out exactly if I'm going to use just another 2x4 to cover the rest of that in. But this is the main thing that we're going to tackle first, is cut insulation to go here all the way up and down for that corner. And as soon as that is done, I'm going to measure and put we're going to put some plywood in up in there, and once that's cut and in, we can take these that were in here already. And what I'm going to do is I just need to glue or get this to fit right around again, because the stuff kind of came off when I was pulling it out. And then we're gonna just put this right back in. It works well enough, doesn't have to be super pretty. So we're gonna get to measuring and cutting the insulation for that spot first, and then we'll measure the plywood that goes there. We'll get that all buttoned up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it this way instead of doing long ways, because I'm going to do this pressed fit into the corner. So I'll do the entire corner as one piece and just get pressed up in there. That might cause a little bit of a headache as far as installing, but I think it's going to work a lot better as far as once it's in there, and it takes less cuts. So I'll do 2 cuts instead of like 6. Well, instead of probably like 4. But so yeah, we're gonna cut this, press fit it in there, make sure everything's good, and then I will probably measure exactly where, because this wall actually buttoned up really well, or decently well. So there's a little bit of a gap up there, but honestly, nobody except if you're loading and unloading luggage is going to be able to see it. So we'll do that one, and then I need to put a little bit in that top corner over there because there's nothing in there right now. got a press fit in there. It's 13.5 wide by 75 high. Of course, I'm gonna have to do like I did over here and notch out that little section there. But we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut that board there so we can put it in, hold this down, and then we've got just that little section there, that little section there, and then all of this is gonna get after, I'm gonna pull this wall out and then just reattach or reglue those things so it looks all nice and pretty, so it's nice up and flat. So do this one, do that to the other one, and then we'll put this up, and then the back of the bus will be done. The only other thing that would happen back here, there are actually 2 bars that go, one comes from here over, that's like a closet hanging bar, one over here. I wasn't necessarily going to use them for hanging stuff per se because it's going to get in the way of the door. Actually, if it's over here, it's not really in the way of the door, you can still get through. But I was going to do it to add some rigidity to the bunk here and then on this side, because that right now, that little ladder that's going to basically the opposite of this one just needs more, needs to be sturdier. So I was going to build the top bunk section over here, so then I have a shelf that I can fit everything underneath and fit stuff up on top as well, guitars, merch, whatever. It'll be ready to be used as a bunk when we need it that way, but then it'll actually firm up that front so I can have a door that latches on it. So it's coming along. We're getting a lot closer, one step at a time. Oh yeah, you probably saw the bikes too. So I got those at some crazy screaming deal that the guy was practically giving them away. And they're both project bikes. Well, one of them technically runs, but I still have to do some work on it. But that's another project that's coming, just not right now. Okay, I know there's a better way to do it, but this is what I have. You got pallets, there's a gap in between. Made this guide out of a 2x4. It's gonna work, it'll be fine. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this back to the bus. We're gonna measure exactly what that notch needs to look like, and then I'm gonna use the jigsaw for that. So, don't need to keep using the circular saw for now. So we'll take our piece and go see how much more we gotta do. Not the prettiest, and somehow I still managed to miss by like a quarter or half an inch. That might even be a full inch, but anyway, all we gotta do is screw her in and that'll work. So we'll get this one done, and then we gotta staple the backs and yeah, we'll be good to go. Alright, now that that's all insulated and inside, now I'm going to grab the back here, this piece, and I'm just going to staple this back over and around just so it looks all nice and clean again, just like the other edges, because the glue kind of came off. And then we'll go ahead and punch this one back up on here, and then once it's there, that's literally it for this side. I mean, there are some cabling and wiring stuff that, like, this went to the switch that had the kick out stuff at the bottom for the step, which I'm not using. But after that's done, then we got to do this. We're going to pull this one out and do the same thing, just stapling these back in so it looks a little bit more polished and finished. Then the back is done, and then we're going to move possibly to the front, try to see if we can get that up there finished on that side, put some insulation in that gap, finish that up there on that side, and then I got to put a piece across, and we got to put insulation back up in that cone. So it's getting real close to being finished with all this insulation stuff. Well, we took out that piece, stapled up the edges, and insulated everything, so it's completely insulated top to bottom. Do you approve? The smile means approval. So we're going to put this up in there. This one is here. I have not screwed it in yet because I have to push over and up and screw in at the same time. So I'm going to wait till Abby is done with some of the curtain cutting stuff she's doing, and then we're going to get these in. And the top is going to be done, and then I might go ahead and try to put the bar across here, see if where the bar goes, because I grabbed it from the barn already. And then we're going to move up front, and or Abby's been working on curtains, so we might actually try to figure out putting a curtain in. Yeah. So camera battery died, but well, bam, looks so nice, and it looks better on camera because you can't see all the idiosyncrasies and places I messed up. But it's nice because this bar was against the original wall, and just by chance it's now back in here, super solid, holding on and keeping the bunks from going anywhere, and also a place that we can hang stuff if we want to. But this whole spot will be all storage. And the other thing that we did was we got these cargo nets for when the kids are sleeping up there so they don't fall out. So we installed these. Basically, the nets weren't long enough to do anything. These are just Velcro, so they're Velcroed around rope on this side, and what we're going to do is we're going to figure out a way to either tie these down here, button them down here, basically to keep them from coming out at the bottom here. This one's not strapped down here, but I mean, it's still, you gotta push pretty hard on that. So, but it's just bungeed on this side right now. Abby has some Velcro that we're probably gonna look at extending the Velcro on here, but since they sleep up here, they can still crawl in here if they want to. And then all the curtains and stuff are actually on the outside, which I don't know, it's not ideal, but it works. So that's what we got done so far, and so we're gonna move up front now and start working there. Well, we're either gonna start working there, and I'm gonna cut the little notch so we can actually screw that in, or Abby just finished a lot of the curtains, so I might grab one of those and see what we're gonna do, because the idea that I had to make this somewhat work is we're going to take some bungee line and these little things that attach to the end of the bungee line, and we're going to put them up here a little bit further in and down there, and then we'll have basically the curtain set up in a way to where you can pull it all the way down to the bottom, you can pull it up from the top, but the bungee will actually keep it taut enough to where wherever you stop it should stay. This is all complete theory. We don't know if it's going to work yet because we've never done this before. So you'll find out just when we do whether or not this works. So I'm going to go in and grab one of those, and we're going to put one kind of preliminary together and see. I'm going to start actually with these back windows, which those are the ones that are going to be a little interesting because they're probably going to screw into this side over here. This side will pretty much be straight, and this is the only side that's going to hold tension to it. So that might be a little interesting, but we're going to figure out how to make it work. But that's the idea. I think it's going to work. Granted, I was the one that kind of came up with it, but if it doesn't work, that's all right. We used bed sheets that were given to us by somebody because they didn't want them anymore. So use what you have. All right, so this is what we need to do. So these pop off, and we're going to take our cord and you slide that through first, and then you push this end in until it's all the way up there where it's flush, and then you literally just shove it back on top.
Oh.
That's it.
Okay, but then more is gonna go through there.
Well, yeah, so what we're gonna do
I've seen it countless times. Things don't turn out right, like nothing we had planned.
All right, so Corin's helped me out here with getting these set up, but I think, again, in theory, this is all gonna work. But what we're doing is we're using one screw that's actually going into this metal behind it. It's gonna hold the wood in there. I haven't put a bungee on there yet, but we're gonna measure the bungee cords and then figure out how long they are. But essentially, once we do that, we'll put one here that'll hold two, and then we're gonna put another one here that'll just hold one, and then literally this whole side except for doing back there. And what I may do is I just might end up stretching it higher, but literally one, two, three, four, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and they're all going to be done. And the cool part is it's really easy. You just back the screw out, or if you wanted to change the curtains out or whatever, you could just pull those bungee things, the sleeves back, pop them off, and be all set. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on getting it done. This first one is just kind of a test, but what I want to do is get this other double set up over here first. So once I've got that set up, then we can actually like put a curtain on it and then figure out how far down they need to stretch in order to be able to do it. But I'm actually super stoked at how this is going.
But in the chaos, don't forget, you were made for more than this. And this is not the end. Every person has a story. Every story is a song. Sometimes all we need is just to sing along. So sing along. In your joy or in your pain, in your heart when it breaks, life was never meant to live alone.
What do you think, babe?
It turned out better than I thought it would. So that's
Which means it's
exciting.
absolutely awesome. So you can definitely tell camera-wise like that it's not blocking all of the sun, but it's creating a hard shadow as opposed to letting the light all the way in. And this is basically trial and error. And as of right now, that's a pretty stinking good trial with no error. At least that's what we're gonna call it.
How much all other 6 of them are gonna have issues.
I don't know. We guessed on that one pretty good. It seems like it worked out pretty awesome.
I think it looks great.
So now we just got to do the rest of them, and then we'll be done with that project, which is kind of crazy because I thought this was going to be a like week-long thing, and I don't have that long. But thank you, Gus and Amy, for getting rid of your bed sheets and letting us turn it into something completely different. We appreciate your support for the bus project, and your check will be in the mail for all the royalties we make on this video. Just kidding.
No, it's probably true.
But seriously, we really do appreciate you guys.
Matt's such a softie. And he let you guys come in and sleep in the bus. So nice and warm in here.
I'm doing 4.
Huh.
Like I got
So
4
nice and warm.
out,
Mm-hmm.
You good kitties.
so I can do it better.
These kitties are brother and sister from a different litter. Or
Like
half siblings or something like that. I guess we don't know who the dad was. They have the same mom.
teenager.
Aw, they love each other.
Who's ready for more curtains? Hey, Dad. Dad. That one's right there. I can't do it, so you're gonna do it. Ivy's in here, which she's right there. She has the curtain. And we got 2 done. We're doing 3.
That one's gonna
need a
binder clip.
So you do this
Yep.
if you want to see.
Ivy's right there. Just,
All right, here's some
oh,
more.
that curtain doesn't work.
Thanks.
This one doesn't
Good.
work.
You think of our windows? Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, and watch this.
Take it down. You can't see what's outside.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
just
so there's
it just
2.
looks white.
All right, 1.
So, Dad just got a screw. He's gonna screw it in. So we're gonna watch him screw.
You were meant to come alive, even when it's not alright. And no, I feel it too. Every person has a story. Every
Daddy, just look the kitties up.
Sometimes all we need
Hopefully you had a good long nap.
It's just to sing along. So sing along. So let me cry with you. Let me dance with you. Let me sing together with you. Let me cry with you. Let me dance with you. Let me sing together with you. Oh, you have a story. Your story is a song. So let's sing together and have everyone sing along.
Boom. All of them are done. Don't look at that window. This one needs a little bit of help, but binder clips are gonna fix that one right up. So good.
We can sleep without people watching us.
I know, right?
It is about wine. Corn, our cooking wishing.
All right, now that we got the curtains done, next up, we're gonna go ahead and create the top bunk on this side. So thanks so much for watching. Feel free to like the video, share it with a friend, subscribe, and if you want me to come to you in this bus, all you have to do is email me. There's a link below, and I'll come do a house show, and I'll bring the bus along. And then that way you don't have to worry about me sleeping on your couch and being weird. I can just sleep in your driveway in my bus. But anyway, feel free to let me know. We'd love to come see you guys. That's the reason why we built the bus, was so that I could come visit you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you real soon.